If you are like me, you have had the fear of being confusing to other people. You have said, I have too many interests. On a Monday, I want to do this. On a Thursday, I want to do that. There are too many mediums I feel want to express through me. I have so many different ideas, and within me, there are so many contradictions that I hold, and I've been taught by the society that I live in, which privileges the Western imagination. I've been taught that I'm not allowed to contradict myself. I'm not allowed to be a hypocrite. I'm not allowed to have interests or values that clash. So there are all these contradictions that you're holding, and you've been taught to believe that it somehow is a higher form of being to not be confused and to not be confusing. And in today's soul session, we really want to reclaim the state of being confused and being confusing. Okay, my loves? Hello, soul sibling. Hello, sunshine. Hello, divine and magical being. Welcome or welcome back to the Soul Salon, a soulful place, a feeling place, a healing place. For the healers, for the dreamers, for the feelers, I am so grateful to have you back with me today. Let me tell you this. Let me ask you this question. Because so often we're trying to protect people from ourselves. We're saying, I can't post this next because I posted that, and it's going to be confusing if I go this other direction. I'm not allowed to express in this way when I usually express in that way. It's going to be confusing. And what I really invite you to, babes, is you didn't come to planet Earth all the ancestral truths that had to be the case for you to be listening to this right now, all of the mystery and the magic, all of the chaos in the universe that transpired just for you to be in this moment of your life with these interests, with these passions, with these callings, with these desires. You didn't come to planet Earth to say, oh no, that's too confusing. No, I resist that because it's going to confuse people. It even confuses me. I need to pick one thing. I need to pick one lane. And even as I know that I'm not meant to do that, I still will limit and hold back just how many interests I have, just how multi-passionate I am. Babes, we have all been miseducated about the state of confusion. We've been taught confusion, bad, clarity, good. This false binary, and also this false idea, because so often actually as human beings, as conscious beings, as curious beings, we actually seek out the experience of confusion. It's not that we reject or deny it. We seek it out. What do I mean by this? Why do people love playing chess? The confusing state of what am I going to do next? What will my opponent do if I do this and they do that? Why do people love mystery books? And after they finish the book, they almost want to go back to the state of consciousness earlier in the book where they didn't know what was going to happen, proving that knowing, or that kind of knowing that means accumulating more information, is not the highest state of being or knowledge. Why do we love mystery films, mystery TV shows where we're trying to figure it out? Why do we love plot twists? Why do we love the gasp of something being surprising or shocking to us? Why are we looking for games that befuddle us? Where we sit there and we're like, oh, I played Bananagram for the first time yesterday, which is like Scrabble. And I loved the feeling of like, what am I going to do with this letter? It's a frustration, but it's also like delicious. What I want to transmit with all of these examples, babes, is it can be fun, pleasurable, delicious, expansive, to be confused. The confusion I feel when I play a game is not the same kind of confusion I feel when I watch a mystery movie. It's not the same confusion I feel when I read a mystery book, and so on. So what does this tell us, babes? There are different frequencies, textures, and flavors of confusion. And what if, my love, your being, brings about a certain frequency, a certain texture, a certain flavor, a certain softness of confusion that we, the collective, can only experience through your being, through your expression. You are going to bring a particular kind of confusion that people who want to be specifically confused in the way that you are confusing want to feel through and with you, because they also may feel the exact same kind of confusion playing with them and running through them, moving through their hearts, their hands. So you are not here to protect us from your confusion. That is not the case. It's only in this Western paradigm that says confusion is a negative state of being that we should reject. If you are confused, you need to come back to clarity. You need to come back to direction. You need to come back to certainty. Certainty is the goal. We are certain. We must be clear. We must have facts. We must have evidence. That's not actually the state of the universe. The universe is the magic, the chaos, the mystery. It is us trying to make sense of what does not make sense. And that is a beautiful pursuit when it is used to further love and community and connection. But it can also have its shadow aspects, which is trying to assert dominance and control and certainty over an uncontrollable and uncertain and undominable reality. I work with multi-passionate creators who have big dreams in many different mediums. And something I often hear is, oh, I want to start this new newsletter, or I want to post this new post, but I think it's going to be confusing. And so therefore I avoid it because I don't want people to be confused. And I want us to also, there's a beautiful soulful aspect of this. It's like we're trying to be loving towards the collective. Maybe we don't want to lead them astray, but there's also an egoic part of this, my loves, that we think, oh, I get it, but they won't. I get it. I get the fact that I can like dancing and poetry and I can critique capitalism, but I can also understand that we need to earn money in the system in order to pay rent and in order to keep doing what we're doing and in order to bring more people into the movement that we're trying to create. I can hold that contradiction, but no one else can. They won't get it. They're just going to be confused. They're going to reject what I'm here to create because they'll be too confused by it. But I get it. I get it. I mean, I don't always fully get it, but I get it enough to like embody it. You know what I mean? So I want to say that if you hold this contradiction within you, if you hold this confusion within you, what if you invite the possibility that other people will understand and will be able to hold it as well? That our consciousness or our level of being able to hold uncertainty is not greater than those of the people that we are here to serve. So I want to invite you to say, it doesn't make sense and I'm going to do it anyways. It doesn't make sense and I'm going to do it anyways. Because the purpose of this earth and the purpose of my being on this earth is not to make sense. I did not come here for a human experience that is subsumed by the goal or desire to make sense. That would be imposing structure on something so divine and magical that cannot be forced into a system and to a sense of order that is not aligned to it. You are magical, my love. You are expansive. And we want to expand through, with, and for you as well. Because when you expand, does your audience not expand with you? Do they not see, oh, they're doing that now. Oh, so that's possible. Even if I don't want to do that, I now am introduced to the possibility of that. So when we allow ourselves to be confusing, we invite other people into that state of expansion, because what always precedes expansion is confusion. Like when you're learning something, you often sit there like, wait, what? What just happened? And then you have to reread the sentence, or you go look it up. And you're like, oh, I'm confused. And that's another example of humans loving that feeling. Like, why do we love learning? I'm not saying we only love learning because of being confused, but I think that learning has within it, in the journey of it, the experience, the deliciousness of confusion, of not knowing, of uncertainty, of not having it all figured out. And we want to figure you out, knowing that that project can never fully be completed. And when my clients say to me, oh no, this is going to be too confusing, I'm like, there it is. There's what needs to happen next. Because that is you silencing this inner child within you that wants to play and not have it imposed on it, the need or the requirement for it to make any sense at all. You don't owe us sense. You don't owe us making sense. You don't even owe that to yourself, babes. Do you owe yourself making sense to yourself? I mean, listen, there is the reality that transcends our ability to describe or speak or understand it. And that is your mystical dimension, my darling, that you have within yourself, where you're like, why do I feel so called to do this? Do you need to sit and figure out the why? Or do you just need to honor the calling, or play with the calling, or let the calling move through you and let you move through it? We do not need a human experience that privileges logic and rationality that is overexpressed in the world right now. We need to embrace the mysticism. We need to embrace the confusion and the doubt, knowing that something is trying to expand through us, through that feeling. And that something is also wanting to expand others through its transmission, through its expression. Okay, my darlings? Okay, my loves? So, my darlings, my loves, it's okay if it doesn't make sense to you fully. And you don't need to wait for it to fully make sense for you to act. Trusting that things are going to unfold as they are meant to, you get to act in the mystery, in the magic. I love the Julia Cameron quote. I think about it all the time. Lean into mystery, not mastery. Lean into mystery, not mastery. Like, it's so true. I want to leave you with one more idea, my loves, that's going to help you if you feel like you have so many different passions and interests and things within you moving, and some of them contradict and some of them clash and some of it doesn't make sense. I want to invite you into the understanding of yourself, my darling, my love, as a creator, which is what you are, a divine creator. I want you to know that you may be creatively polyamorous. So just as in polyamory, polyamorous people are needing multiple partners to feel fully loved and expressed and to give the love that they feel called to give. Similarly, creatively, you have love to give all these different mediums and platforms, and you are trying to understand, okay, how do I relate to all of these different mediums in a way that makes sense and in a way that we can all expand together. And so it's not wrong. It's not less than. It is beautiful and precious and divine. And you are so worthy of that expression and of that multifaceted love that you are here to give. Some creators they just write, and that's beautiful for them. They're writers or they're filmmakers. I think that's divine and wonderful. And in reality, no one only creates one thing, but we're talking about maybe the focus that they put their creative energy into. That could be their truth. Other people, we want to do so many different things and we want to give our love to so many different areas of creativity in our lives. That is certainly the type of creator I am. And that is the creator I tend to then work with, because that's the type of creator I tend to attract, is people who are like, wait, but I want to do so much. It doesn't make sense. How can I want all of these things? And how can we bring that into a state of curiosity rather than judgment, of radical acceptance that what if my energy is not scattered, but actually it's meant to manifest like this because I am an exact match for what I'm here to create. So it's not me changing my energy, it's honoring that energy and saying, well, what is natural for that energy to create in this world? And so maybe it is multiple different things. And I just think that's a very precious thing. I've learned that that's actually so special. It's like Horcruxes of the soul. Sometimes what I do is I have a note on my phone and I say questions I'm still figuring out. And something that I learned from my therapist is you're always going to be figuring it out. There's not going to come that one day where all questions have been answered and every form of confusion has been resolved and you have nothing left to figure out. You'd be dead. Okay, so those of us who are alive to life are going to be confused. Because it's confusing. Oh my goodness, it makes so much sense. Oh my word, you see the contradiction. Now she's celebrating it making sense in an episode about celebrating what's confusing. Yes, it's a contradiction. Divine and delicious. So we are going to embrace contradiction. We are going to embrace the fact that we get to be confused and we get to be confusing. Ha, you know what I mean? Ha, ha. We have been taught to put on a pedestal that state of certainty and clarity and knowing, but we are going to reclaim the state of confusion, uncertainty, and unknowing. In order to usher a world into being that does not yet exist, we must be the kinds of people who can sit with and create through confusion, because we are envisioning, we are dreaming, we are imagining, and imagination. Isn't it a little bit confusing? Because what we create is not perfectly in alignment with the vision, but we need the vision to create sometimes. So it's all a little dance we're doing, and you are worthy of the dance, my love. You did not come here to make sense. You did not come here to silence the parts of you that you feel don't make sense. You did not come here to have a niche if you didn't come here to have a niche. Some people came here to have a niche. It's not me. It's not you. You wouldn't have got to the end of this video if that was the case. So we're just going to do what we want to do and expand. And also expand into the mystery of maybe in the beginning you have no niche. And then over time you're like, whoa, I love talking about XYZ. So I'm going to talk about that most. Maybe not always, but most. And so let's just unfold, babes. I want you to unfold, okay? You are worthy, you are deserving, and you are multifaceted for a reason, because the creative energy, the creative intelligence of the earth wants to manifest through a being such as yourself who is multidimensional, because the kinds of things that you can bring forth through your being as someone who is a prism reflecting into multiple mediums and creations is going to be energetically different and its own kind of creation versus the kinds of creation that is more singular focus, which is also delicious and divine. So precious. We need the works of those people. We wouldn't have many of the movies we have, the books we have, the TV shows without those people. And similarly, we also wouldn't have a lot without the people who feel called to make music and have poetry and take photos and be a dancer and be a chef and and be a coach. You know what I mean? We're worthy of it all. I hope that you will take a step into the unknown and the unknowable. I hope that you will learn to love the part of you that confuses people. Just love it. I introduce myself. People are like, what? What? And I'm like, yeah, exactly. I mean, sometimes I don't even understand. I mean, make that the new vibe. Don't make sense. Sense is boring. I'm kidding. We also need sense. We need it all, but we need it in balance. We need one to not be on a pedestal over the other. And we need to bring more mysticism into a world that hyperfixates on logic as defined by the colonizer. Okay? I hope that you go forth and confuse people and confuse yourself. How confusing can it get? Let's find out. Wouldn't that be so cool to find that out in this lifetime? How confusing can it get? And I also want to say, I know confusion can feel horrible. It can feel horrible, 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 frustrating, full of grief because we mourn the times in our life where we maybe did have clarity, where we didn't see all that we see now. Maybe we were more tapped into the matrix and now we're like, oof, I can't unsee this. And now what do I do? But I want to honor the fact that sometimes the frustration of the confusion comes from the idea that it should be otherwise. That's what I want to tell you. What if it's not meant to be otherwise? What if this is part of a human experience, especially of those of us who are conscious? We're conscious, so we're open-hearted to it all, to the love, to the grief, to the pain, to the suffering, and to the confusion, okay? And how can we accept that confusion in and of itself is neither good nor bad? It's an energy that exists in the universe, which means it wanted to be expressed through the cosmos, through the universe. It means that in the cosmos experiencing itself, it wanted the state of confusion. It needed it, perhaps, to even exist at all, to even ponder such questions. Didn't we have to be confused about them? You are the mystery book, my love. You are the chess game that people don't want to end. You are the divine mystery and magic and chaos, and you get to be all of it. And it gets to not make sense, even to yourself. I love you so much. As always, you are welcome to book a session with me, to check out Creative Activations, which is my offering that I listened to before I created this, to get into a more flowy, gentle, loving, empowered, let me not use that word because it's full of baggage, a more trusting, loving, motivated frequency. Right before I listened to this, instantly as it played, I dropped in. I said, ooh, I'm a creator. Sexy. Ooh, what will I create today? And you can listen to a free activation on my podcast, Soul Salon. And I love my podcast so much. And it just continues to not fully make sense to me. It just goes where it wants to go. And I try to allow rather than force and impose a sense of structure that your soul leaves feeling more loved, more gentle, more soulful. That's what I want to create. That's what I'm creating. You can go to my website to check out my things. If they confuse you, sexy, wonderful, delicious, precious. Just like you. You are all those things. You are magical. You are divine. And you have not come here to protect us from the state of confusion that we get to experience through you. We don't have to. We get to. And we want to. We want to be confused by you. We want the texture and flavor of confusion that only you can bring about within us, that you can awaken in us, that you can speak to in us, that you can nourish and nurture in us. I love you so much, my darling. I will see you on the next soul session, and I hope that you stay confused and stay confusing. I hope some paradigms have been shifted for you in today's conversation. As always, if you can, please leave a 5-star rating on Apple and Spotify. Like, comment, subscribe. I love you so, so much. Okay? I love you. Join me on my Substack. Links in the comment section. Go there. Okay? Love you so much. Love you. Bye.